The Backrooms. You've been here before. Level 185. The next train to depart from platform blank. Her situation's worse. How bad? You really think I can even attempt to describe it? You know how much worse she's already developed. She's just become even more sick by the day. She doesn't have much time left. And I didn't know about this sooner? There was no way to tell you sooner. It all happened overnight. Get here and take the fast route. Okay, I'm on my way. Thank you for letting me come over. Survival difficulty. Class 0. Safe, secure, devoid of entities. Image caption. A few of the infinite platforms within level 185. Description. Level 185 is an infinite station that is directly connected to level 90, newly renovated home, and level 159, Beastland, and acts as a form of public transport for the residents of both of these levels, thus allowing travel to vast other areas of the backrooms by boarding the correct trains at the right times. It was easy for him to get to the station. He knew exactly where to go and where it was, despite it being so unused by him ever since his solitude. For all he was concerned, the entire level was just an oddball area down one of the paths at the renovated home. Note, see level 90. The man was quick to enter, for he had to find his train, even if she'd regressed to a state that she wouldn't even notice if he was there. The difference between him being at her passing and him not being there was something terrifying to him regardless. He had to make it. He had no other choice. Image caption. One end of an infinitely long consist found in level 185. Level 185's platform length and count is infinite, with arches dividing up every 4 platforms. Footnote: these arches are occasionally filled with bricks, or have doors that block open visibility to the other platforms. End footnote: that connect and hold together the arched roof and skylight, the latter of which being the primary source of light for the level, and the only source of light for the further stretches of the platform away from the entranceway of the level. Time was already not on his side. He had so far to travel in such a small window, all whilst navigating such a large place he'd rarely visited. The man knew the odds were stacked against him, but he had to see her one last time. It was the only chance he would ever be able to again. The platforms bustled with life, and the PA was already announcing arrivals and departures before he'd even stepped inside. It was hectic, but he knew what he had to do. He just had to get there. Image caption. The front of a finite train in level 185, pictured minutes before its departure. The man, not even wasting a second, quickly began his scout across the level to find the train he needed. He knew the one, since he'd already used it twice before to visit years before. All he had to do was find the board, and the board would tell him his platform. Simple, he thought to himself. If only that were the case. The platforms of level 185 are numbered in a standard numerical fashion. From the main entrance doors, the left side of the platforms, footnote, from the perspective of those entering the level, end footnote, are labeled in ascending order from 1 onwards, and the right side of the platforms are labeled from -1 onwards. Trains periodically arrive in these platforms, although the actual location these trains pull in from is unknown, as the tracks and platforms of level 185 stretch indefinitely from the terminus area. However, The fact that the trains increasingly build speed upon leaving leads thought to believe that they can achieve speeds sufficient enough to be able to surpass the infinite length of the platforms. Each collection of stations is accompanied by multiple destination boards, which display the arrivals and departures for the next 20 platforms in either ascending or descending order, depending on if one is on either the positively numbered or negatively numbered platforms. The destination boards operate off of the most defunct footnote, at least within the front rooms, and footnote, split flap display system. Note, see the Wikipedia article for split flap display. On these boards, each of the 20 rows will exposit the following: the platform number, the time of arrival, footnote, even if the time of arrival has already elapsed, end footnote, the name of its terminus level, the time of departure. As well as this, each destination board reads the current date and time, which has been modified to align with the currently used time and date system for the ease of travelers that use the level. When a train departs from a platform, the split flap display system for the platform the train departed from will briefly remove all of its information, followed by approximately 10 minutes of calibration. After, that section of the board will reactivate and display new information for the platform's next arriving train. This cycle occurs on a 24-hour basis, creating an almost hypnotic pattern on the destination boards as the information periodically gets replaced as more trains enter and exit the level. Image caption. A locomotive driven consist seconds after pulling into one of the platforms. The man was quickly walking across the platforms, scouting across the positively numbered platforms for the one he knew he had to get. He passed by countless people, watched a half-dozen other trains leave for their destinations, and kept his ears carefully open for the periodical PA announcements, just in case the train he needed had already arrived. The next train to depart from platform 40 is the 10:44 service to the Bumper Crop. Note, see level 10. Calling at such a familiar route. Note, see level 147. 130 Sinkhole Street. Note, see level 166. Memory Foundry. Note, see level 150. The Fading Islands. Note, see level 121. Salvaged Seaboard. Note, see level 436. And the Bumper Crop. Note, see level 10. He heard echo from the PA. He breathed a sigh of relief. The train called was not the one he needed to get. He still had time, and just had 20 more platforms to cross between to reach where he needed to be. He thought there was time. He felt he was going to make it. He thought that he could. Image caption. 3 identical trains parked on 3 adjacent platforms, pictured in an idle state after arriving at their respective platforms. Whilst the cabs of the trains cannot be accessed due to their doors being locked. Footnote, as well as this, the driving units of the consists that are operated by locomotives have doors that are locked as well. End footnote. The insides of the passenger coaches follow a typical layout of seats that skirt along either edge of the coach, an open area down the middle, occasional tabled seats for larger groups to sit together, overhead luggage racks, and areas to store extra luggage and even bikes. Footnote. This varies from train to train, as some of them have been found to not contain all of the aforementioned features. End footnote. When a train arrives, minutes after the PA system announces its arrival, the doors will automatically open for people to be able to enter into them. Footnote. This also goes for trains which are not built with automatically opening doors. End footnote. Each coach within infinitely long trains oftentimes only seats about 20 or so individuals, due to the heavy dispersal of its passengers along the consist. However, for the trains that have an infinite number of coaches, finding available seats should be an extremely easy, if not time-consuming task. Image caption. Two of level 185's consists still in a powered state after pulling into their respective platforms. The man hastily arrived at the board he needed, looking up at it as countless others were. He glanced at the stops, his eyes passing from Platform 40's train to Subcarrier, note, sea level 500, all the way to Platform 60's train to Red World, note, sea level 270. However, the one for the Endless City, note, sea level 11, being the one he needed, was not present on the display. He watched and waited in hope, but the board never showed the train he needed. Each train will stay at the platform from anywhere between 15 minutes to half an hour, with approximately 3 minutes of leeway on the furthest wait time. Whilst the trains will initially accelerate at moderate and otherwise realistic speeds, after about 5 or so minutes of traveling, the trains will begin to pick up speed that is exponentially quicker than before, continuing to pick up the pace until traveling at speeds high enough to pass the infinitely long platforms and transport themselves to the levels on their route. Despite the speeds the trains reach, the insides of the trains do not experience any effects from the increase in velocity, allowing its users to be able to sit in moderate relaxation as the train goes to its destination. The actual arrival at the levels themselves occurs anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour after departure from either level 185 or the previous stop the train had been at. When the time for arrival does elapse, the train will begin to drastically slow down before pulling in and arriving at the level predetermined by the timetable. Whilst boarding onto the train is theoretically possible when the train arrives, the lack of a platform, the random areas the trains stop at, and even the lack of tracks makes this an incredibly difficult task. As such, entering level 185's trains from anywhere outside of their parent level is prohibited, and the trains are only to be used as an exit at their respective stops. The next train to depart from Platform 10 is the 11:09 service to the Progressive Decay, note, sea level 106, calling at the Underneath, note, sea level 95, Corroding Retail Outlet, note, sea level 44, the Living Level, note, sea level 148, Water Wonder, note, sea level 58, the Infinity Scraper, note, sea level 696, the Infinite Mall, note, sea level 33, and the Progressive Decay, note, sea level 106. The next train to arrive at platform -17 is the 11:50 service to be at sea, sea level 422, calling at Boiling Desert, sea level 440, Silent Sounds, sea level 100, and to be at sea, sea level 422. The next train to depart from platform 6 is the 11:22 service to Futuristic Halls, sea level 15, calling at Castellos' Museum, sea level 222, Endless Dreams, sea level 563, Stormstone Keep, sea level 28, Port of Misgivings, sea level 230, Westminster Alley, sea level 299, Such a Familiar Route, sea level 147, Mind is Software, sea level 400, and Futuristic Halls, sea level 15. The next train to depart from platform 60 is the 11:28 service to Red World, sea level 270, calling at the Island, sea level 268, the Saline Dunes, sea level 64.1, Lukewarm Hotel, sea level 233, Aurora Liminales, sea level 260, Corroding Retail Outlet, sea level 44, Welcome to the Desert, sea level 169, and Red World, sea level 270. The next train to arrive at platform 405 is the 11:26 service to Protected Caverns, sea level 181, calling at Golden Guy, sea level 138, Abandoned Utility Halls, sea level 2, Aeternum, sea level 133, Port of Misgivings, sea level 230, Watery Grave Caves, sea level 173, and Protected Caverns, sea level 181. The next train to arrive at platform 40 is the 11:28 service to the subcarrier, sea level 500, calling at Sublimity, sea level 370, Sewer System, sea level 34, Clean Sewers, sea level 183, To Be at Sea, sea level 422, Thalassophobia, sea level 7, and Subcarrier, sea level 500. The next train to depart from platform -900 is the 11:33 service to Descent, sea level 198, calling at Stomach Lining, sea level 211, Boundless Sewers, sea level 76, The Backway, sea level 59, Downtown Diner, sea level 98, Call of the Void, sea level 163, the Summit, sea level 93, Tranquility, sea level 63, and Descent, sea level 198. The next train to depart from platform 1 is the 11:41 service to Camp, sea level 118, calling at 130 Sinkhole Street, sea level 166, Salvaged Seaboard, sea level 436, The Giant's Causeway, sea level 144, To Be at Sea, sea level 422, Memory Foundry, sea level 150, and Camp, sea level 118. The next train to arrive at platform -10 is the 11:49 service to Dead End, sea level 203, calling at the Infinite Valley, sea level 186, You Wouldn't Download a Rainforest, sea level 194. Welcome! You Wouldn't Download a Rainforest, sea level 194. You Wouldn't Download a Rainforest, sea level 194. Sublimity, sea level 37. National Park number 474, sea level 474. The Frozen Lake, sea level 420. The Dry Hill, sea level 140. Concrete Boxes, sea level 170. Archaeology, sea level 205. Concrete Wastes, sea level 463. Memories of Memories of Memories, sea level 612, and Dead End, sea level 203. The next train to depart from platform 78 is the 12 o'clock service to the Looping Basement, sea level 432, calling at Attic Floorboards, sea level 19, Alone, sea level 53, and The Looping Basement, sea level 432. Image caption: a singular locomotive right at the end of level 185's platforms, pictured here after a locomotive from the front took all the coaches away to its destination. The man waited and waited, watching the boards across multiple platforms switch their letters from destination to destination, eyeing them as the time kept ticking by. Without ever pausing, the PA kept announcing, but not a single announcement was for a train he needed. The man, feeling sorrow brew within him, succumbed to his failure. The return journey. Should one have successfully boarded a train, they will be able to ride along its predetermined route right up until the terminus stop, right at the other end of the line. At the terminus, unlike the behaviors exhibited at the level 185, the trains will continue to move after stopping at their final station, and will eventually arrive back at this level at a new, random platform. When pulling in, the locomotive and coaches will be assigned an entirely new set of destinations, making continued travel inside these coaches after they leave a second time wildly unpredictable. Much like travel between the other levels, the arrival time between the quote unquote final stop and level 185 can take a varied amount of time to undergo, though the time does not exceed the lengths of time that have been documented for the gaps in time when traveling through the usual scheduled levels. Entrances and exits. Level 185 is accessed from both Level 90, newly renovated home, and Level 159, Beastland. Access from the former can be achieved by following along one of the trails that leads to the perimeter fence, specifically one that goes to a wooden turnstile. Operating this turnstile and attempting to go down the small public footpath behind it will transport individuals to the entrance doors of this level. To access level 185 from the ladder, all one has to do is find an abandoned train station building of a similar design to the interior design of the platforms. Going through any of the doors will immediately transport oneself to the exit doors on this level specifically. Exits. As the trains of level 185 can stop at practically any level of the Backrooms, listing a concrete list of exits is a futile affair. Instead, one should try to memorize the more commonly used nicknames of levels in order to know the terminus stations on the destination boards, and the stops announced by the PA in order to easily traverse using the trains. Alternatively, should one not desire to use the trains, exit can be done through the large exit doors or cutouts in the walls at this level's edge to return to either level 90, newly renovated home, or level 159, Beastland. The entryway into either of the two levels is, whilst predetermined for every door, not marked in any way for wanderers to know whether or not they'll be entering either of the two levels. Where were you? It it didn't arrive. What do you mean it didn't arrive? You could have gotten any stupid train and just traveled through levels on your own. You could have been here in minutes, but you weren't. You just avoided her and us, like you always do. I'm sorry. Don't lie to me. I'm not lying, Esther. I really wanted to be there. I really did. Like how you were there for the rest of Mom's deterioration? Yeah, I bet. I'm sorry for that, too. I didn't know how to handle your mother's change like that. Yeah, well, whatever. Not like you care. But she passed in the night. Stay in 90, newly renovated home, and don't talk to me ever again. I understand. Good. Goodbye.